If you are in any way, shape or form interested remotely with Doomsday, this is the statue to get. Hi, today we'll be talking about the most recent Doomsday statue from Iron Studios. Let's measure the box. It's around 37 centimeters high, which is around 14.5 inches, and it's around 26.5 centimeters wide, which is around 10.5 inches, and 27 centimeters deep, which is around 10.5 inches. It has the art on the box is pretty good. You can see it from the front, and on all the sides. On the right side there's a continuation of the art, and on the other sides you can see the images of the statue itself. There's it just only says Doomsday at the top, and on the bottom it says, well, Deluxe Art Scale, made in China. So here it is. This was initially a convention exclusive, I think CCXP 2019 or 18 or something like that, but now meaning 2020, it's widely available all around the globe, and its design, its concept art is by Ivan Reis, which is one of the greatest comic artists, one of my favorites. And well, I think overall Iron Studios is killing with their 10 scale line, or what do they call it, art scale line, and this one's no exception. It's one of the larger statues of this line. So at the tip of his hand stands at 27 centimeters, which is around 10.5 inches, and its widest point is around 21 centimeters, which is a little over 8 inches, and its depth is around 29 centimeters, which is around 11.5 inches. But you can actually change that because it's just that cable over there, and you can just remove it from the peg and it comes right off. And there have been a number of Doomsday statues. Recently there is the Sideshow maquette, there's the Prime 1/3 scale Prime 1, which is a very comic accurate as well, but I think this statue right here, this Doomsday, is the perfect Doomsday statue I've ever seen. I mean, he jumped right out of the comic page actually. From his bones, from the protrusions on his skin to his actual skin tone itself, and tearing of his costume, it's perfectly comic accurate. There are no modernizations at all actually, because this is the face we first saw on Death of Superman storyline on comics in around 1990. The other manufacturers take some liberties with actually not some, take a lot of liberties with the Doomsday character. They put more protrusions like these, and especially on his face. They usually don't utilize the costume itself. They certainly don't utilize his ponytail hair like that, which is basically PVC here because it's flexible. Actually, the lot of the details on this statue is probably PVC. Iron Studios are a little vague on the details of its outline. They are usually polystone, but more often than not they use PVC elements. They mix and match with different parts. It's, if you know this line, this is certainly one of the heavier ones. It's probably around, 5 pounds or something like that. And obviously it's 10th scale. Its pose, its dynamism is perfectly captures Doomsday himself. I would love if Iron Studios produces a new Superman statue at this scale to match this exact pose. And actually it has an hexagonal base, and if they were to produce another Superman statue with a hexagonal base, which we can place it around here to to actually punch into the Doomsday's hand, and this would be his counter. It would I believe be the perfect diorama for any Superman fan. They would never do that because they actually did produce a diorama piece of Doomsday versus Superman, and at 6th scale, but it was the early Iron Studios, and the quality of that piece left a lot to be desired, especially compared to this one. Storyline connection is obviously from the death of Superman, but it's not that, not exactly the death of Superman storyline, because on the original Death of Superman comic there weren't many of the other characters. Of course, there were a lot of characters that were added in the later issues, and when they first met Doomsday, there were a lot of second-tier DC characters like Booster Gold, but the Justice League never actually meets and fights the Doomsday himself on original comic. But here on, let me just unpeg it so I can show you the base. So the base suggests there was a fight between Doomsday and the entire League, and this ripped off S shield from the Superman costume also suggests that there will never be a diorama piece like that to match this one. All these cables and are detachable. They have pegs right over there, and the batarangs can move. The Wonder Woman lasso is just planted, so you cannot remove the lasso, and you cannot remove the S shield. You can remove the batarangs, obviously. So let's peg him back. It's fairly easy to set up, and he comes with two heads. This is the one that I just showed you, and the other head actually shows him without the partially whipped mask. It places perfectly, and I choose to display it with this one because I love the first issues of the Death of Superman storyline, which Doomsday still had his mask, and it added to the mystery of the character, which was entirely closed like that with red eye holes. And as that costume deteriorates with his fight during Superman, we come to see what a freakish creature he actually is. So let's talk about the paint job a little bit. The skin tone is perfect. The texture on the skin is also perfect. The striations on the skin is much larger and less dense compared to a regular human skin, which suggests this is a much thicker skin, and it adds to the formidability of the character. The bone protrusions are perfectly colored and shaded, and you can easily tell that there was bone, and because of the fight, and as they were scratching through that gray skin, they have some markings on them. They'll have great shading, and just at the points of protrusion there are also some type of bloody shading on the areas where the protrusions occur. All perfectly done. The anatomy itself is also great. I mean, it's even Race, he knows what he's doing. The serratus muscles, his lats, his abs showing around here. It's a great statue. If you're on the fence with Sideshow on the Prime 1, and if you don't care about the scale and size at all, definitely get this one. It's much superior to the other ones. And it's currently priced around between $250 and $300 euros, within that region. As always, if you like this video, please like and subscribe, and see you on the next one.